So hey y'all, Ron's RC. I'm gonna do a little wrenching video today. Earlier I was out bashing by myself and broke a pin in the diff.
So the bash was all right here by myself today. It wasn't so bad. We got some kids show up, and my car broke just as as they got here. I lost a pin. It looks like that's not supposed to do that, right? As far as I know. Free spin. Yeah.
Last time I did the diffs, I was in a hurry and I used a stock pin. When I put the stock pin in, I knew that it was gonna break. What I've been doing recently, if I can find them, not in here, I don't think. No. Let's see if we can find them. What I've been doing is taking drill bits, and since I've done that, there we go. So I just bought some, I think they're 2.25 drill bits, and then we take a pin. And we cut it. Now the interesting thing is, this pin is actually, the stock pin is not actually 2.25, it's more like 2.2. I don't have a digital, so I can't really show you that well, but I can see it on the scale that it's definitely, that the drill bit's slightly larger. So I'm going to cut this guy down, and it's not only a little bit thicker, so you get less play in the diff, but it's also stronger. So, I mean, it can break too. It's hardened steel, so it'll shatter, but it doesn't happen as often. I did my center diff, I did my rear diff, and I did have one of these break in the front diff as well, but it lasted a really long time before I did so. And when I broke it, it was on a power landing, so I was under power when I landed. Today it just broke, and I didn't even really do anything as far as I could tell wrong. Maybe I did earlier, whatever, but yeah, I broke it, and so I'm going to make a new pin. We're going to pull the diff off, we're going to do a service, and we're going to put some drill bit pins in. So, see you in a little bit. Yo, so I'm back. I've cut my pin. Show you how I did that. Easiest way I've found is I take the drill bit and then I take an original pin and I just put them together, put them in the vise where the part that I want to cut off is outside. I take my Dremel and just cut it off. Now the problem is, well, not a big problem, but you end up with a little burr from the cut on the bit. The easiest way I found to get rid of that burr and make it nice and clean is just to take the new cut pin, put it in a drill bit, and just take a grinding stone or a file, if you got a file, if you don't have the grinding stone, and just round that edge off a bit and clean it up, maybe a little Scotch Brite pad. And then I like to take my finger over it and see if I feel any burrs. It feels really nice and smooth. So as good or better than the original, my opinion, better because it's stronger. Yo, yeah, there's not much more to it than that. So just put it in there just to show you that the stock one is a little bit thinner. Got my drill bit in there and just drop that through a couple times. Yep. So it's not much difference. Like I said, maybe 2.2. That's 2.25. Yeah. You can also use tool steel in the States. It's pretty easy to get the tool steel. Shipping doesn't really cost you anything. But here in Europe, for example, I'm in Austria. I gotta order it from Germany, and I'm looking at probably 10-15 euro for shipping, and yeah, it's just not worth it. Plus I have to buy in quantity and pack of drill bits from Amazon Prime, free shipping, and I'm done. And I've got enough to go on for, yeah, as long as I need to. Like I said, they hold up really well. Yeah, so I'm gonna go take that diff out now, and we're gonna put our new pin in. See you soon. Yo, I'm back. I don't have a broken pin. I got a broken shaft. That's a new one for me. I haven't seen that.
It's GPM, so go figure how that can happen. Yo, so back when I bought the car, I bought a couple sets of these, thinking, back then I didn't know anything about GPM quality and all that, and I think I spent like 600 euro on GPM parts because I wanted everything. I couldn't see affording everything with M2C and all of that. So yeah, I went with quantity and not quality. And I thought, how bad could it be, right? It's still an upgrade, right? Um, Actually, what I found out some of the upgrades I've done recently is actually going back to stock parts and just removing and throwing away the GPM. Oh yeah, live and learn. Yeah, the only thing to date that I've found that's halfway decent quality is the aluminum hubs seem to be okay, at least for now. Yeah, I'm sure if I bought them now, I would buy something else, but they've done all right. That's about it. Yeah, unfortunately, I've got to replace them with again because I had bought two sets back then, and I, of course, haven't bought any spare stock ones. Yeah, maybe I'll have Adrian over there. Bad touch. Hey, Adrian. Think you need to send me some M2Cs. Looking that way. Yeah, let's see how that goes. So for now, I'm just going to put the GPMs in. And here's another funny thing. There it is. So when I went to pull the other side out, the GPM, it was so stretched where the pin goes through that it actually almost, I had a really difficult time getting this out of the drive cup. I actually had to put it in the vise and take my punch and pop it through because it was so stretched out. There's no burrs on it. It's just where the pin's in there, it had stretched out so much that it didn't want to come through. Crazy. Whatever. So at any rate, the whole point of this was to put a new pin in, and I do. I got my new handy drill bit pin, and it turns out on the other side, I already had a drill bit pin. Why I didn't why I put a stock one on this side, I don't know. At least I'm pretty sure this is a stock one. It looks too clean, too silvery to be a drill bit pin. Yeah, looks stock. No, I guess the other one is stock too. It's just dirty. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and cut another drill bit and keep these as reserves, I guess. Whatever. So see you soon, and we'll go back to putting this thing back together. So we're back. I skipped ahead. I mean, there's so many videos on assembling diffs. I got a couple small little tricks that I wanted to show you too anyways. But the most of it I just did the same. One thing that I always do, and I actually learned it from Rich Superbash, this green goo stuff. Always put a bunch of it on the shaft before I stick it through to help protect the seal when I'm screwing it in. And I also, just like he does, I give it a nice little twist going in. Nothing special there. And also a cool little trick that he does too, and Rich, thanks. Or maybe it was Eric, I don't know. Any rate, he makes sure that when he's doing everything, he goes ahead and pre-assembles, puts his bearing on top, because it's so easy to forget. In my case, my bearing's kind of stuck on there, so I'm just going to leave it. But that's a nice little thing. Yeah, let's go back to the pin real quick. I wanted to show you how well that fits. I did actually end up cutting it a little too long the way I make it. Like I said, putting the two together and then putting them in the vise and cutting them off. Yeah, if anything, you end up with it a little bit too long, but you can always file it down. It's a little extra work, but whatever. Yeah, so we got our pin, and just to show you how well that fits in there. Don't know how well you can see it, but it's really a nice exact fit. There's really like no play. It just fits in there. When you can almost feel it pop in. You almost have to push it just a little bit. But it will fall out. I've had it with a brand new one, like a brand new gear. It actually won't fall out. This one's worn down a little bit, so it falls out. But even with this being worn, it's still a nice fit, and you can feel that there's really no play in it. The other thing you notice too is how little play inside. I wish I was working with a stock shaft, but you can really feel that it fits really nice inside the shaft as well. I mean, it's hard to see on the video probably, but it's a really nice fit. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and put our pin through. And I wanted to show you something that I bought this. This is a little vacuum chamber. My local hobby shop, what I thought he conned me into getting it, and just he sold me. I can be sold. And I thought, well, that's just too cool. He was actually selling another customer this thing, and he was demonstrating it, and yeah, I just had to have it. It's a little vacuum chamber. It's primarily made to get the air out of your shocks, but it actually works really good for this. I don't have to wait 10 days for the to air to get out of my diff oil. I can just put this thing in here and pump it up. So we'll do that real quick. Let's go ahead and put this on. Put that in there. Our little shock stand holder, and I'm trying to get a little better turning, so I'm going to go down to actually 30 on the front, and I'm going to put some 20 in the back. I was running 30 in the back and 50 in the front, but I'm going to go ahead and tone it down even more. I want some more turning, and until I see that it's like diffing out on me and I'm not able to hold a straight line, I think it's somehow better to go with thinner oil. I'm going to try it out. I know when I drove it stock original with 10, I didn't like it, but you know, I like to do more than just go in a straight line. So, and with the thicker diff oil, it does somehow make it a little bit more difficult to turn around. So I'll get this in there. Fiddly. Here we go. Pump it up a little bit. You walked in behind me right now. I wonder what that would look like. Oh yeah, baby. We got it. Check that out. Can you guys see that? I hope you can see that. Man, that thing is like foaming at the mouth. Look at all that air. That is so cool. I love that. Yeah, maybe it's not necessary, but it's fun. Yeah. And even still, I'll just let that sit, 2 or 3 minutes. The thing is, I don't have to guess. When I'm done, when I let it sit, when the air is gone, I know it's gone. There's nothing left in it. No, it's maybe just a little play toy gimmick, but I love it. It's great, and I don't even know where you would get them normally. I got it from my local hobby shop, and he way overcharges for everything. But y'all, whatever. If I could find out where to source them, I would carry them on my shop. I really would. So if anybody can tell me where to source these ride guys without paying full retail, and I can get. If I can get a halfway decent price, I don't need to make any money on it, but I need to at least pay my PayPal fees and my shop fees, right? I don't want to, don't get me wrong, guys, but I don't want to pay you to buy this. So if somebody can tell me where I can source them to where I can at least break even on them, they're a cool little play toy. I would carry that on the shop. What the hell? Just write in the comments, and yeah, maybe I'll figure out how to get those on the shop. So, yeah. See you again in about 5 minutes. So, it's actually only been about 3 minutes. I watched the little clip that I showed you before. Yeah, it's all done. There's nothing left. I mean, there's a little bit of tiny bubbles around the edge, but I mean, it is crystal clear on top already. So let's go ahead and do the unveiling. I'll get over here where you can see it. It's got a little rubber seal that holds the air in. You just peel that back, like popping Pringles. We'll pull that off. And it was over the top. Now it's perfectly right on top of the gears and no air. Like I said, probably not necessary, fun toy though. Yeah. So now for the next little trick that I learned from Manny down at Manny's RC, Manny's Race Shop. here in Graz. Almost every video I've ever seen, they always put the sun gear on top and then put it together. Manny said, that's, in German, this is a Blitzen. Das macht man nicht. That we don't do. So we go ahead and put the gear on top of the oil. And we line it up with screw holes. So we line the pin slit up with the screw hole, so we know so we know exactly where that slit is. See if I can eyeball it here. Getting old, I need glasses. And we'll take a little napkin and we'll clean off the edge nice. Then you know you're absolutely full to the top, but you're not over full. Because otherwise, it's kind of a guessing game, right? You spend all that time getting the air out, and waiting for the air and then filling it, and then what happens is at the end you either overfill it or you underfill it when you put the gear on top, or at least that was always my feeling. And now we can make this edge nice and dry. Man, I got goo all over the side. Would sure help if I was a little better coordinated. We are full. Yeah. Still got a little around the seal. From what I understand, the drier that you can keep that seal, the better that it seals. If it's already got fluid underneath it, then it'll let more fluid through, right? At least that's what I've been told, and that kind of makes sense. Did the same thing here. We lined the pin up with the holes, with the screw holes. I've already got my seal in there, and we just set it down on top, and we know exactly if we can get our holes lined up, then we're in like Flynn. And if you don't turn it, that also means the pin helps you get your holes lined up for your screws. Isn't that sweet? Set that down there. It's also a nice holder, right? Yeah, in the comments, if I talk too much or irritate you in any way, just let me know. I probably won't do anything about it, but I'll try. Yeah, I skipped over a lot of it, but there is, a couple little things here, with the air and also with tightening the screws down. It is pretty important, I guess, to make sure that you, when you tighten down to cross over, crossing over, make sure that it tightens down evenly. It's another thing about the GPMs. They are thicker, so theoretically they should be stronger, right? They're so thick, in fact, that the shims for shimming your rear diff or shimming your diff case, you actually have to put on first because you can't slide them over the top, whereas the stock one you can. So, I mean, just from appearances, they seem to be stronger, but I've never heard or seen a stock shaft on a drive cup breaking. I mean, you can write in the comments. Maybe you do know it. I haven't seen it. That's a first for me. Broken shaft. Crazy. So, crossover. See, I wasn't even doing my own thing. I was going around the circle. Crossover, crossover, crossover. And we're done. There it is, fellas. My hands are slippery. Turn it through a few times and make sure it feels good. Oh yeah. For 30 weight, it's pretty tight. There we go. I didn't really look at my gears that well. Maybe I've got to feel like it's binding a little. Doesn't really turn through nice for 30 weight. That's interesting. It's locking up. Why is that binding? I may have actual bad gear. I didn't even notice. I didn't really look at them that close. But it is binding for some reason. There we go. Turn it through. Yeah, it catches in one spot. There must be. Maybe that's why the shaft broke, huh, guys? That somewhere in there is a bad tooth, and it's binding. Maybe that's why our shaft broke. I mean, no excuse for the shaft breaking still, but there's definitely some binding there. Sure of it. Oh well, the hell with it. It binds. Doesn't do really much good to have the 30 weight though, does it? If it's binding like that. Man, that sucks. Well, I'm not going to bore you guys with taking it apart, but I'm sure I've got a bad gear in there. Or trying to do the video, I got distracted and shimmed it wrong. It turns and then it just binds up. Don't know. Well, I'll see you after I get this fixed. Sorry for the bull crap, whatever. Well, I took it apart. It was definitely not right. It was binding. It was really strange. But guess what? I did find it. It is a broken tooth on the sun gear. I looked at the gears. Satellite gears look great. The other sun gear is perfect. I guess this is probably what took out the drive shaft. That it was binding. Like I said, I didn't think I did anything wrong driving. It was just all of a sudden pop, and I lost drive in one wheel. But now, I mean, the GPM still shouldn't have broke. It should have shattered the gears and everything else before the GPM shaft broke. But either way, at least we now know why. So if you do break a pin or break a shaft, there's probably a reason for it. I'm going to show you, and I'll probably end up taking a picture later and putting it in with the video, because I really don't think that you're going to be able to see that in the video. But right there, there's a broken gear. It's like half gone, just shaved off. Not there anymore. Yeah, whatever. I've got new ones. Spares, been waiting to be used, and we can throw that one in the trash. I guess I'm not taking a picture of it now because I'm not digging that out. So, but yeah, see you back when I got it back together and show you how nice it works. Well, guys, I'm back one last time. We're almost done. Just wanted to show you. I said I took it apart, and you know, we found that gear, and I pulled it out of the trash just for you, so I can take a picture and show you the tooth. Now it works beautifully, nice and smooth. I did something I'm gonna regret. I had spare stock, and I had the upgraded, you know, heavy duty hardened GPM gears. Yeah, I put those in there, so we're gonna test them. They're gonna suck probably, but whatever. I'm probably gonna regret it. I'm supposed to go for a really cool bash on Wednesday in Slovenia with RCDC, and I probably should bring a full spare diff with me. I think I can get a good deal on that from Ron's RC. Yeah, because otherwise I'm gonna regret that if I run and into one pack those hardened steel GPM gears give out on me, I would be really, really pissed at myself. Not at the GPM, I already know that's crap, but just pissed at myself for having a full set of stock and then putting the GPM in. Whatever, we're good to go. It's beautiful, it's smooth, and I hope you enjoyed it. Like it, thumbs up. You didn't like it, big thumbs down. Either way, do me a big one, guys. Like and subscribe. I'm trying to build my channel. Big help, big help. See you soon, man. Happy bashing!